What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Big Fight Field channel, where we speak the truth, we're honest, and we give out takes on the Final Four. Because tonight, we're previewing the Final Four that's going to be taking place on Saturday night. We've got a very busy but a very fun Saturday night ahead of us as the Final Four begins at 6 o'clock. We're going to preview the Florida Atlantic San Diego State game and the Miami Uconn game. And then also Saturday night is WrestleMania, the biggest WWE event of the entire year. And I'm going to be previewing that tomorrow afternoon. I'm not sure if I'm going to be recording it just for a straight video, or if I'm going to do a live stream. I haven't decided yet what I want to do. So once I decide, and I'll let you guys know sometime tomorrow when I'm going to decide. I'm probably just going to straight up record a video because people are working during the day. And tomorrow night there's a lot of wrestling. There's SmackDown. There's this Super Card of Honor show. So there's a lot of wrestling going on tomorrow. So I'm probably just going to straight out record a video and get it out to you guys probably around afternoon time, like 3 o'clock. So, but we're going to talk about the Final Four today. Just got done watching the Phillies actually like 2 hours ago. They lost on opening day. It's okay. Not the result we wanted, but there's 161 games left to go. So I'm not complaining at all. But yeah, that's besides the fact. Overall, I'm just really, really happy that baseball is back, man. Baseball is fucking back. And if you want to go see all my baseball content, go to my TikTok page at Conlon_Joseph. And if you guys haven't already, go check out last night's AEW Dynamite review that I did with Cameron Johnson. We talked about the Blackpool Combat Club going full-fledged heel with Bryan Danielson's return with the attack on Kenny Omega. They're taking over AEW, man. So if you haven't already, be sure to go check out last night's AEW Dynamite review with myself and Cameron Johnson. Let's get into the first game of the Final Four, Florida Atlantic and San Diego State. If you told me when the brackets came out and you said, hey man, when we get to the Final Four in Houston, it's going to be Florida Atlantic versus San Diego State for the right to play in championship game on Monday night, I would have said, I'm never having a conversation about college basketball with you, turned around and walked away. That would have been a horrible take, but here we are. Florida Atlantic and San Diego State. Florida Atlantic, man, they're led by some good players. They got John L. Davis, who's having a really nice tournament. Vladislav Golden, their center, had 13 rebounds in the Elite Eight game. They've also had Brian Greenlee. Elijah Martin had 17 points against Kansas State. They got some dogs over there. They really do. Florida Atlantic has some dogs. And it's really funny when you see the comparison videos of a small school beating a big school. You see the video. It was Sunday afternoon. I was scrolling through TikTok and I saw a video that popped up of Florida Atlantic's gym, which is like 2,800 seating capacity. It's like a high school gym, but with a really nice basketball court in the middle. And then you look at Kansas State's capacity, 12,000 fans. Looks like an NBA arena. It's just mind-boggling how small these schools that they beat the big schools, and the small school in Florida Atlantic in Boca Raton is going to the Final Four. It's insane, man, and I think they deserve it. All these teams deserve it, but Florida Atlantic, man, when you're in a region with Purdue, Marquette, Duke, Kentucky, Tennessee, all those teams, I mean, you got to give it up to them. You got to give it up to them for surviving through that region, man. Really. And then you got San Diego State. They defeated the best team in college basketball in the Sweet 16, Alabama. Brendan Miller, who just declared for the NBA draft, might have had one of, if not the worst performance in a Sweet 16 game that I've ever seen. He shot 3 for 19 in that game. He had 9 points. He was shooting bricks against San Diego State, and San Diego State, they got the better of Alabama because of their defense. Their defense was absolutely elite against Alabama. Their defense has been absolutely elite during the entire tournament. They have given up 57 points to Charleston, 52 points to Furman, 64 points to Alabama, and 56 points against Creighton. They held a really good offense in Creighton to 56 points, man. And Creighton had over 35 points at halftime. So they were held to below 25 points in the second half for San Diego State to win that game. I do think Creighton kind of got fucked at the end with that foul call, but it was a foul. You just can't call that in that situation. But how's this? What comes down? What's the big X factor in this game? I think it's going to be who makes the big time shots last. Who makes the big time shots with the last 3 minutes to go on that game? Who's going on that 10-0 run at the end of that game to pull away with it and go to the Final Four? You see, I give that advantage to Florida Atlantic. We've seen it the whole tournament. When they needed big shots against Kansas State, against Tennessee, they made them. They made those big shots. And that's why I give the advantage to Florida Atlantic when it comes to that. The problem with that is San Diego State's defense is elite. San Diego State's team is full of grown-ass men. You're talking about Matt Bradley. You're talking about Keyshawn Johnson. You're talking about Lamont Butler, who's a really good guard. You're talking about a book of rope. That's how. Yeah. Studs. And not a lot of people knew these names. I didn't even know most of these names going into the tournament. I obviously knew them going into the tournament because I'm not a hardcore college basketball fan during the season, but when it's around conference championship time and it's around March Madness time, that's when I really, really get into it. And these boys have been clamping down their opponents the entire tournament, which makes me think I don't know if Florida Atlantic is going to be able to make the big shots at the end. And I'm going to say San Diego State gets the advantage based off that. I do think it sounds so chalk, but I just see both favorites winning and covering. The line is San Diego State -3. The over-under is 131.5. I wouldn't go with the if I'm a betting man, I wouldn't go with the full game under just because of San Diego State's defense. But I looked it up earlier, and the first half over-under set at 60.5. I think I would lean more toward that than I would the full game. And then I would also lean San Diego State -3 over Florida Atlantic. So in the first game, I like San Diego State to go to the national championship. Miami and Duke. I'm sorry. My God, why did I say Duke? What the fuck, dude? Miami and Uconn. I hate Duke. Top 5 worst teams in all sports. New York Mets, a little bit of a tangent. New York Mets, Buffalo Bills, New England Patriots, Duke Blue Devils, Boston Celtics. My 5 worst teams in all sports. 5 most hated teams in all sports. Anyway, Miami and Uconn. I said this when I talked about the Final Four on Monday. What's been the biggest story of the entire tournament? I think it's been Uconn. I think it's been the dominance of this Uconn Huskies team. That they have absolutely blown out opponents in the entire tournament. Blown out. Iona by 24. St. Mary's by 15. Arkansas, 23 points. Gonzaga, 28-point victory against one of the best teams in college basketball. They beat one of the best teams in college basketball by 4 touchdowns, 82-54. For those of you that want to know the score. This team is loaded, man. They are loaded. Jordan Hawkins, Amada Sanogo, Andre Jackson. They're really good. Dane Hartley's got this team in the right position. And their offense, man. Their offense is on fire. I'm talking 87 points, 70 points, 88 points, and 82 points in the tournament. They've been the best offense in the tournament. Now, if you want to make an argument of who is better than them on offense, it could be the Miami Hurricanes. Because, I mean, they've lit it up the entire tournament, too. They scored 63 against Drake, 85 against Indiana, 89 against Houston, and 88 against Texas in the Elite Eight. They are showing off, man. They're showing off. Jordan Miller, outstanding performance, 7 for 7 from field goal range, 13 for 13 on free throws. We haven't seen anyone with a perfect game in March Madness since the Christian Laettner shot winner for Duke many, many, many years ago. Norchad Omier, sophomore forward, has really stepped up this entire tournament for the Miami Hurricanes. Seeing him against Sanogo is going to be really fun in the tournament. It's going to be a really fun matchup. You have Jordan Miller. You have Nigel Pack, who's like lighting it up from 3. He made 7 3-pointers. 7 3-pointers against Houston in the Sweet 16, man. He's the sole reason they lost. Isaiah Wong's really good, too. This is a really good and dangerous Miami team, and I underestimated them when they were the number 1 seed in the ACC tournament. And I underestimated them in this tournament, I think, too, because I had them losing to Indiana in the second round. And what happened? They proved me wrong. They proved me wrong. And they're going to have to prove me wrong again, man. Because I just cannot. I cannot bet against this Uconn team. I just can't. I can't do it. They're too good right now. They are way too good on offense. They are very good on defense. They're set up. They're built up as a championship team right now, man. And the spread's at 5.5. If anything, the over-under set at 149.5. I mean, the way these offenses have been playing in this tournament, how can you not like the over between these two teams? If I had a play in this game, that would be my decision, is taking the over in the Miami-Uconn game, because these teams have scored nearly 80 points the entire tournament. So I think in the championship game, it's going to be San Diego State versus Uconn. I know it's very predictable, but nobody predicted these four teams to be in the Final Four. So, I mean, is it going to happen? More than likely not. You know there's going to be an upset. You know it's happening. But I'm going to say it's going to be San Diego State against Uconn. So, I'm getting out of here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm going to be back tomorrow here on the Big Fight Fuel channel to preview WrestleMania, man. I'm excited for WrestleMania. I'm pretty sure once I talk about the entire card itself too, I'll be even more excited for the show Saturday and Sunday night. So be sure to subscribe to the channel, comment down below, leave your predictions for the Final Four. Hit the like button if you like what you heard from me. Follow me on Twitter and TikTok. Baseball has started. Once March Madness is over, it's going to be all Sixers content. It's going to be all baseball content. So be sure to follow me over on my TikTok page at Conlin_Joseph. And guys, that's going to do it for tonight. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Hope you guys have a good one. Stay safe. And as always, man, stay classy. I'm out. Peace.